So, what do you want to do today?
I don't know. Honestly, there's nothing to do in this awful country.
Well, do you want to get Shake Shack?
Here?
Well, do you want to go ice skating?
Yes, in the middle of the desert.
Do you want to take the metro to lunch?
The non-existent one?
Uh,
How about we go for some knafe?
What?
Or mansaf?
I didn't think of that.
And then tomorrow we can go to the Dead Sea for lunch.
Yeah, we could.
And then after tomorrow we can go to Jarash.
I've never rode camels before.
Neither have I. How many of you plan to come back or came back after completing your educations outside? It has become the norm now within privileged communities such as our own for students to leave the Middle East and study abroad and not return.
Whether it be the United States or Europe, many of us find comfort that in the next 1 to 4 years we will be living in a university, thousands of miles away from this place that has caused us so much strife.
But how can you not be excited to finally leave such a boring and outdated country when cities like LA, the city of stars, and New York City, the city that never sleeps, have so much more to give us?
How is it possible that a country like Jordan has more to offer us? If you asked us that question a few weeks ago, we'd be in the same position you are, eyes wide open and mouths gaping.
Let's go back to the question we asked you all in the beginning. A lot of you think that coming back here is a death wish, but it's not just you. According to Al Jazeera, a news channel fairly famous in all of our grandparents' homes, 95% of Arab students that study abroad choose not to return.
This is known as brain drain. Let's define it. It's the departure of professional or educated people from one country for another for better pay or living conditions.
What would have occurred if Nelson Mandela decided to leave South Africa for the United States?
شو خصني?
What would have happened if Gandhi decided to remain in England rather than return to India?
Gandhi وما Gandhi وأنا.
The Middle East Steve Jobs was gone when Abdel Fattah Jandal was forced to leave Syria for the United States.
يي هاد كان عربي.
Well, yes, originally.
The Steve Jobs, a neighbor, a distant relative maybe, an Arab.
The late Steve Jobs was head of multi-billion-dollar company Apple, a world-renowned figure, a successful businessman, someone who changed our lifestyles, an Arab.
Not a doctor or an engineer, Steve Jobs along with Salma Hayek and Amal Clooney, all successful, all Arab.
The main cause of brain drain in the Middle East is due to a lack of resources and undemocratic governments keeping the regions in a state of colonization.
Why would we personally leave? Well, the world looks a whole lot more exciting out in other places.
New undiscovered places for us to be ourselves in, relief from the judging eyes of a harshly enforced culture.
Limited by cultural norms, many of us look to leave the Middle East to express creativity. Creativity that can be stifled by Middle Eastern culture and religion.
Those of us who have gotten the opportunity to travel feel a sense of the outside world, and once coming back, we feel neglected of opportunity.
Better pay, assumed higher quality of living, and broadening your horizons are all persuading elements to leaving the Middle East.
But our culture is subsequently washed away with the desire to abandon our homelands.
Generation upon generation, uninterested in bettering the world around them, focused on moving to a better world themselves.
New undiscovered places for us to be ourselves in and discover the outside world.
I, for one, will come back for the food.
California Pizza Kitchen is no match for Sufra and Fakhruddin.
Blinded by the lack of modern necessity, the youth overlook the beauty of their own culture and the resources they do have.
Not only has the Arab world produced many legends, but it continues to.
We're surrounded by the next Steve Jobs and the future head of UNICEF.
A growing nation rising rapidly with endless potential.
Cities manufactured over the waves and built from ruins. Nothing stands in our way, because as of right now, no one's in the way.
Traveling away from our hidden beauties, a blend of historical wonders and unthinkable opportunities for the future. Who is going to take care of our cities?
Don't come back for the stellar year-round beach weather. Come back and make a difference in the world you grew up in, and make it a better world for your children.
Make your footprint surrounded by people who share your blood and your culture.
Ideals that reach far beyond what tall towers and endless shopping centers have to offer us. The Middle East is not perfect. It's far from it.
But to be encapsulated by this mindset that reinforces the idea that we must assimilate with what is perfect rather than and leave what is imperfect drives us further away from reaching such ultimate perfection.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Yeah, but now what?
Well, we get on with our lives.
And then what?
We'll just have to come back and see.